Hey guys, welcome to our little preview of Legacy here. This is the first time this game's really been shown anywhere, so a little nervous, I guess. I'm not going to talk the whole time, just for some parts of it. I'll let the cutscenes just play on their own. This is my nice title screen that I got from Rai, or Renove as she's now known, and script from D. Drupo makes it work. Okay, so this is the first battle in the game, and you can have a fairy explain things to you if you're never played an RPG before. I always wonder if you have to do that, but I figure why not, you know? It's kind of fun to write for the fairies. So, in this first battle here, you don't fight as Bradley, since Bradley's had no training. You fight as his older sister, Trish, who's already been through the academy, so she's very powerful. And you get a sense of what you'll fight like, you know, after your own training. So I think that's kind of cool for people. And Trish is a lightning mage, and she has most of her skills, at least the ones that I've made. In the final game, she'll probably have more, just because I'll have a better idea of like what people learn. But for now, this is more than enough. Now, if you notice, the camera's moving around in a manner that's very similar to Master of the Wind's battles. Fomar was able to sort of repurpose the script for XP that did this into Ace. So that was good to do. Get a sense visually, it already looks kind of like Master of the Wind, in addition to the blue background. But one thing that we didn't have Master Wind were these TP attacks, which I like the idea of. Just, you know, kind of like limit breaks, I guess. And so there'll be some of those in this game. And you have your magic spells, and you have your specials. So that's the first battle, and it'll be a while before, you know, Bradley can fight like that. But I just figured it was nice to give the players a taste of it right away. So now let's go watch the next cutscene. So let's get the game off to a little bit of a grim start, but it's not a grim game really. It's just that Bradley's grandfather is a big part of the whole legacy idea. And of course, in the scope of the full game, it'll make more sense as to why that is. But I just thought it was an appropriate way to start, just to sort of stark reminder that, older generations eventually go away and younger ones take over. So right now we got the fairy giving the spiel about walking around the map. So I'm going to have a bunch of those books like the ones he has there, and every time you read one it'll tell you what to do if you want. So now we're just hanging out in old Bradley's room. And he's not like other heroes I've made. He's not this, oh, watch this, I like this. So he's trying to learn how to make potions. So you get this little potion. Thanks to Never Silent for that item pop-up. Fucking pins in my fucking shirt. But I just put that in to chance to test out Bradley's potion. It restores just a little bit of hit points. So he's on track. That probably won't be in the final game, at least not the fucking pins on the fucking shirt. But like I was saying, Bradley's not like a lot of times the protagonists and stuff I write, they're just these kind of smart-ass guys who just like don't take any shit. But Bradley's pretty, he's shy, he's unassuming, he's very smart, eager about learning and such. But he's never quite sure how people are going to react to that because, anti-intellectualism and all. Hopefully not as bad in Celeste as is in America, especially during an election year. Sorry, I had to get that in there. So he and Trish are talking about magic. Now the big thing with this game is that, unlike Master of the Wind, which is obviously, about somebody who uses wind magic, the players are going to choose the weapon that Bradley uses and the school of magic that he uses. So that's what this whole early sequence is building up to. And one thing I like too is that this is a family that's pretty deep in the Gallian aristocracy. It's a little, you don't know for a lot of the game just how they feel about the city's history. I mean, they're content to live in the modern Gallia and go about their business, but if given the choice, would they go back to the sort of genocidal empire? And so you sort of anybody who's played other Solus games and knows the history might be a little nervous about this. So we have Trish, who you met already, who's just a very capable, strong woman. And then you have Albert, who's sort of who's a nice enough guy, but he's, a little macho, not really like Bradley. Bradley's more like his father, but unfortunately his father works so hard, he doesn't see too much of him. Now, it's interesting that I got back to working on this again. Part of it was, I guess, Master of the Wind, just doing the Let's Play, got me thinking about Celeste stuff again. But also, I don't know, I was working on a book for a while, and it's probably like 2/3 done. It's about a ghost of a teenager who killed himself, and these paranormal investigators trying to figure out why he's, communicating with his sister. What's he want? And it's very grim. It's hard to write sometimes. I mean, I have some of the character-based humor that I like to use, but it's, it can be heavy, and this game isn't really like that. It's almost the opposite. I was talking to Mark the other day, Artbane, and I was sort of saying, like, the book is like Unfinished Business is the name of it. Unfinished Business is sort of destroying my adolescence, whereas this one is sort of reconstructing it into something less painful than I guess it actually was. In the sense that, like, people will pick on Bradley, but they're not going to be like, evil Stephen King bullies. They're just people who have a mean side, I guess. So I just think that's important. I think I've, want to present a world that's a little more hopeful. So the fairy's talking about the journal, And Fomar made me this really neat thing where if you see a yellow word that's in your journal, you can hit shift there, and then this thing pops up and you can read about it. The journal's a big deal in this game. It just keeps track of quests. It keeps track of, you know, what you learn about the world, and you just have a little pocket encyclopedia about Celeste that you can look into whenever you want. Celeste. I gotta figure out exactly how I want to pronounce it. You think I would have spelled it by now? I think push comes to shove, it's Celeste. And there's Nevin. He's just a big... I don't know if I call him a jock, but he's just a bro. He's definitely a bro. You know, there's going to be some kind of modern types of young people in this game, even though, of course, we still have the quasi-medieval setting. But I think that makes it more fun for people. Because we're going to walk around East Gallia, which, God, I remember I spent this probably took like a month. It's just huge. We go to the restaurant that the skeletons attacked. And so, you know, the first question that comes to mind is, does it really have to be that big? And, you know, I guess it didn't have to be, but I really want to sell it as I really want to sell Gallia as like a big city. You know, a lot of times when you do a town in RPG Maker, it's just, you know, you got your shops and you make like 4 houses and call it a day. But I wanted this to be different. I wanted to really like give the impression that a lot of people lived here. So, whoop. Oh, we got a little bit of an error there. I'll have to fix that. Got a little goodie up here in the kitchen. Oops, this is busted too. I got a nice little item pop-up script recently. Oh yeah, I said that before. I'm repeating myself now. Yeah, so take a little walk, and you know, exploring is going to be a big thing in this game. Like, you know, it's not going to be as linear. I mean, you have a linear story that sort of progresses from day to day, and that clock will tell you what day you're on. But you can just wander the world. I'm hoping to have some kind of day and night system, like the one on Homework Salesman. Because that one's like the best one I've ever seen. It was, like, I'm talking about commercial games too. I mean, that one was just flawless. So I'd love to have something like that, but I have to figure out, you know, maybe if I ask D. Drupal really nice, he'll let me use a variation on it, or maybe I'll have to sort of seek out something different. But I've been sort of afraid to open up that can of worms because I still have to do this intro stuff. So this is the Earth Guild. There's going to be a guild for every school of magic, and you know, depending on what you choose, you can join your guild. You don't have to, but you can, and you'll get some extra quests and some extra spells ultimately. So that's the incentive. This is the Earth Guild leader. As you can see, there aren't too many people with faces. That was on purpose, just because, you know, I'm kind of on my own art-wise here. When I first started, I got, you know, a lot of stuff together. I got a lot of people to work on stuff. Luna made Bradley Sprite, for example, and some other sprites. And you know, of course, Ride to the title screen and a couple other art things. And Fomar did a bunch of scripts for me, which I'm so grateful for, because I wouldn't have shit without that. So thankfully I got, even though I stopped working on the game for a long time because we did X Noir and then Labyrinth and Dreams and then, you know, all that shit. But I'm just grateful I got all that done early, so I don't have to like try and get everybody together again. So it's just a, you know, key moment there when I had all their attention. But yeah, you can wander around here. You'll find journal things. Like I'm walking over to a place where I can get an extra journal entry. I'm hoping that, like, you know, the sort of completionist types will want to find all the stuff you can do to fill your journal, because there'll be a lot. And then we have, yeah, like if you go through this park, there's a cemetery in the back, and one of the cemeteries prompts another journal entry. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so this game is obviously, never mind the several years I didn't work on it, but it's coming along very slowly. Everything about this game, everything about making this game is just slow. Because there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to pull off here, and just want to get it right. And there's no rush, there's no deadline. I really want this to be like not a stressful experience. Not, I don't want to have to stress over it. I'm stressing over it, then something's not right. What's in there? Ooh. People play Clean Slate might be able to figure it out. But that won't be an issue for a while. So now we're going to go to the academy, or at least the field. And this is where you choose your weapons and your magic. And there's people representing each school of magic, and I guess certain people who have, experience with guns and knives and axes, telling you about the advantages of those weapons, and then you eventually choose. This map is unfinished, and a lot of dialogue isn't finished either. Like most of those people who are supposed to be giving you speeches don't say anything yet. But you're meeting your weapons teacher now, who happens to be in the Gallius family. So it's a big name around Gallia, obviously. But like I was saying before, I want to get this in because we're almost done. This is supposed to be I wanted this to be like when I was younger and I was making RPG Maker just for fun. I mean, obviously I know a lot more. I have connections and crap trying to do a good job. But it's not commercial. It's never going to be commercial. At least not this version. I guess I shouldn't say never, but chances are no. So, and I'm glad, because that takes a lot of the pressure off, I'll tell you. I mean, if you want to make an indie game that's going to, be up to the standards of most people, you got to either have a Kickstarter or be just independently wealthy. It's so... Oh, you sink so much money into these fucking things. Thousands of dollars for the hour that was Labyrinth and Dreams. It's nuts. And this dwarven guy is the magic teacher. And they'll be pretty prominent in the game. And you can tell they're important because they have faces. I don't use a whole lot of faces here, just that, I don't want to have the clashing graphical styles. And that was an issue with Master of the Wind. So we're about done with what I'm going to be showing you guys here. If you guys like this, I can do some more later. I don't know when. I want to have a short version of play at some point, but time will tell. Alright, so thank you for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and talk to you later. Bye.